What's up everybody, Mortar here. In today's video we are going to talk about allied race and what allied race is probably coming next. So guys, if you already don't know, this January when the patch 8.1.5 will launch, we'll be able to finally play as Zandalari Troll or Cultural Human. But today I was thinking about what is going to come in next, and I presume that there is a specific pattern and we can see it in the character creation screen. In fact, every allied race right now is a counterpart of a race that already exists in game. So we have 4 races that still miss one: gnomes, goblins, Worgen, and undead. And I do say the next one coming will be the counterparts for goblin and gnomes. Yes, there is a lot of love from the community about the Vulpera, so knowing the fact that they use the same rig animation, they have their models that do support armor, they have many character selection customization that many other non-playable races do not have, plus the tail is animated. Well, that's why a lot of people speaking that they're going to be an allied race. But there was a huge discussion if the Vulpera were going to be Alliance and Horde. So with BlizzCon we now have a much more idea where the Vulpera are going to place their reality. And the reason why is with the introduction in patch 8.2 that will come later next year of the zone of Mechagon. And here we do know that the zone will be centered about gnome and even some goblin lore, and we will befriend the gnomes of the zones, which are augmented themselves with mechanical part. So the one that we befriend are called the junker gnomes, while the one that will be enemies to us and will face them in the Mechagon, Mega Dungeon, will be of course the more cybernetic Mecha-gnomes. And I have to say I'm not a fan of these Mecha-gnomes as being a topic of discussion way ahead, even in time when we first discovered the new character models back when Warlords of Draenor was announced. A lot of people love the idea of mechanical gnomes and the Tinker class, and we always been thinking, yes, it's cool, but I do not believe that Blizzard is going to implement something like that. But after seeing the revelation of Mechagon, I do presume that the next allied race that will come in the pool will be the junker gnomes for the Alliance and the Vulpera for the Horde. Now the question is, what will be the requirements to acquire these 2 new races? Well, for sure there is a reputation involved. We already have the Voldunai reputation for the Vulpera, and I do believe there probably will be a new reputation for the Mecha-gnomes in Mechagon. The point is that all the players will have a easier way to unlock it, because probably the junker gnomes reputation will be acquirable for both Alliance and Horde, while an Alliance only player will have to roll an Horde character and level and make it exalted with the Voldunai in order to able to play a Vulpera. And also there is the other requirements, there is the story. Probably there will be something more added, because there is the Mecha Dungeon. So I do believe that probably for order to unlock the junker gnomes we will have to be exalted with the junker gnomes reputation and probably beat the mythic dungeon of Mechagon. While for the Vulpera, maybe it could be something different or similar. Maybe you just need to be exalted with the Voldunai, and that would be kind of interesting. Maybe made a run of a mythic Temple of Cetralis, because that pretty much ends the story of the conflicts between Sephrak and Vulpera, which is pretty much the main center of the story for that race in Voldun. That could be kind of interesting, because as we know, for unlocking the Zandalari and the Cultinas humans, you will need to be exalted with the respective reputation, but also you will not need to have completed a major quest like it was for the other 3 days that already you can play, but to have completed the raid, the Battle of the Zadaror. So that's why I presume that maybe they can do something similar, maybe center around the Mechagon dungeon and the Temple of Cetralis for the Junker Gnomes and the Vulpera. And then we are discussing about the last 2 races of the deal, which are Worgen and undead. And these guys is really hard, because there is a lot of imagination that I see throughout the community, but all these community's ideas are a bit weak, I have to say. First of all, a lot of people was thinking about the feral Worgen. I'm referring to the Worgens that were created throughout the World of the Satyr. So pretty much they are Night Elf. And as I said, this is pretty weak, because the problem of the Worgens is that you have a race that has a certain character customization, but the only difference will be when you're not fighting, which is likely 20% of your time while playing. And the difference will be that to be a standard generic human, you will be a standard generic Night Elf. Maybe they could add some feral shapes, like for example more feral ears, eyebrows, maybe they could have a feline nose, so more sharp eyes. But besides that, I don't think a lot, and the weak point is that in combat while you fight, which is most of your time, you will be pretty much the same as normal Worgen. And the same problem we have for the undead. For that is different, because a lot of people is speaking about the Dark Ranger race, but basically just another flavor of elf. We already have 4 kinds of elf, and I think that for the moment they are enough. Especially there is people that will talking about the Sana Lane due to the Alliance war campaign, but that part of the story in Battle for Azeroth is already over, because we killed the current ruler. So sorry, no vampire elves. But I have to say that maybe there is an interesting solution, and this makes me think of the book Before the Storms and about Kaelia Manafil. Spoilers, but probably you already have read the book at this point. Kaelia dies and gets resurrected by Sarah, I don't remember the name of the Naru in the Temple of Netherlight, as a light undead. And this is kind of interesting, because what we could saw is something similar to what happened to the Nightborn and the Void Elf. They are a Greek customization of Blood Elf and Night Elf, but in the enemy faction. So maybe we could saw this light undead for the Alliance. This would be pretty interesting, because we don't know what the fate of the undead and Sylvanas will be at the end of Battle for Azeroth. And Kaelia Manafil, since she has been resurrected in the book, has not made any appearance in the game, so her presence in the game is stopped at Legion, you know, at the priest order. But what could be interesting is that maybe a faction of undead could be joining Kalia. Do remember that some undead were leaving during the meeting narrative with their families, and Sylvanas had them killed because she didn't want them to leave the Forsaken. And so maybe we could see that some maybe undead are being resurrected that are not so much happy on how things are going, maybe going to Kalia and being sort of light infused, but this is even kinda weak because basically we already have a light forged race in the alliance, so having a light forged undead could be pretty weak. But could be interesting if maybe, if this is pure speculation, Sylvanas is going to leave the Horde, leaving the Forsaken, because we don't know how the story will develop. This is pure speculation, and maybe Nathanos will become in charge of the Forsaken. Maybe he saw Sylvanas leaving as a betrayment, or maybe he will leave it too, because he pretty much more care about Sylvanas than the Forsaken. Maybe we could see the Forsaken being alone, not having a leader, and they will turn to Kalia, and Kalia will decide to guide the undead, which are their former citizen, because she is right to the rule, as she is in fact a Manaphil, and maybe she could take the place as Sylvanas, not as warship, but as leader of the Forsaken in the Horde. This could be a kind of interesting choice to even remake a path of not aggression between the Alliance and the Horde, having Kalia taking the place of Sylvanas as leader of the Forsaken. And with that we could see light infused Forsaken for the Horde, and maybe finally giving to the players that undead paladin that some people of the community crave about. But for Worgen, I have not any idea, because as I said, the Worgen is a very problematic race, because shapeshifters, basically you need to create something that works similar to them, but is different. You cannot make, as I said before, a Night Elf Worgen, because that could be really unappealing, because all the customization option would be for your Night Elf form and not for the Worgen form. Maybe Blizzard will think of something for patch 9.0, so for the next expansion, which Blizzard is already at work. Do remember guys that after an expansion is launched, the team already starts to work on the next one. So they're already working on the next expansion as we speak. So probably there will be a candidate, but we do not have an idea for now. So back on topic, where we probably will see Vulpera and Mecha-gnomes joining the ranks of Alliance and Horde. For sure not in patch 8.2 or in patch 2.5, because we know that that patch will bring us the new character models for Worgen and Goblins. But if they will do something similar as happened with Battle for Azeroth, I can presume that we could see them be playable with a patch 8.3.5, if of course Battle for Azeroth follows the same flow as Legion. And we could have a really interesting topic about. We have finished to deal with will be the major threat, Nosoph, and I'm here talking again that the end boss of Battle for Azeroth will be Nosoph. So both Alliance and Horde have to rebuild after all the resources they had for the war against themselves, giving the fight to an old god, to follow this old god, so maybe they would gladly be happy to recruit new forces to their ranks to help them rebuild, because they also need to, because we will deal with the civil wars in Mechagon, and the Vulpera will surely be happy to have some friends helping them in the harsh environment that can be the Desert of Doom, and especially knowing that the fact that the Zandalari trolls had already joined the Horde. But which class could they be? Well, for sure the Mecha-gnomes will be warrior, hunter, rogues, mages, monks and priests. Because yeah, they give gnomes to everyone, so why not giving them monks? Even to Mecha-gnomes. Why for the Vulpera? I'm pretty sure they will be warrior, hunter, shaman, it could be possible, rogues, mages and priests. The reason why I say monk is that being a customization option that is based from goblins, I don't find it suitable. I find it kinda contradiction that Vulpera can be monks while the goblins not. So yeah, maybe Vulpera will not be goblins because they have some interesting in finding treasures. So maybe they're a little bit greedy, little bit working to have a deal, a pact. Maybe it can be in contradiction with how monk is, the monk mentality is. So yes, but it's fair amount of races for them. Racials, I have some minor idea, but first I want to see how the story of Mechagon is, first to having the idea of how the race will be. While for Vulpera, probably they will have something regarding alpacas for sure, and maybe they will have some skills regarding herbalism. But for the rest, I'm very curious to see, and I say my bet that we will see them joining the ranks of Alliance and Horde at the end of this expansion. But I would like to hear your opinions about this topic, and if you have some interesting idea of what could be another race from coming from Worgen and undead, because I don't have any ideas, but if you guys have something, please share it in the comments below. I'm really curious to speculate about it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.